Welcome back, duelists, to the King's Court. Today we've got a special video for you. As you can probably guess looking at it, and probably by the title, I'm going to be doing an updated deck profile of Cyber Dragons for the Alliance Insight. So, without further ado, before we go any further, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, so you know we upload consistently. We're on the road to 1K, and remember, if we get there before the end of summer, I just got to open a very special gift from the rest of the channel. So if you want to see that video, come on. Join the road. Join the ride. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out our social medias. Link will be down below in the description box. So, we really didn't get to make it to locals yesterday, so this is a Cyber Dragon list that I haven't played a tournament yet, but it's a list that I've been playing, and I've pretty much liked this build so far. I might update it a little bit differently with other cards, but for right now, this is what I'm playing. And it's a pretty fun deck. You will see some gameplay with it where we did play against Blue Eyes, and Blue Eyes was pretty fun as a matchup. But we'll get into the main deck, and then I'll talk over about stuff I like about the deck, and maybe if you guys want to see a combo video, let me know. Alright, so let's go ahead and... spoiler alert. Spoiler! Alright, so we're going to start with our monsters first, and we run a pretty hefty deck, but for Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! That's kind of what you got to do nowadays. So let's go ahead and start with our first set of monsters. Hold on, wait a tick. Where are you at? Okay, that was weird. Sorry for that, guys. Somehow I left the card in my deck box. Alright, so. First cards we play are 2 copies of Cyber Dragon. 1 alt art, 1 regular artwork. As I do a playstyle, that's what I like the artwork of. So it's weird playing a Cyber Dragon list and not playing a 3 of the card itself. But unfortunately, like Cyber Dragon still kind of can be a dead draw, and so we really don't. We want to. You already play enough bricks as it is. So sometimes Cyber Dragon can be a brick, especially going first. But if you're going second, it's fine. Honestly, and even then, like you play for a lot of your other cards. So how many cards count as Cyber Dragon in the field and graveyard? You don't really got to worry about not having Cyber Dragon in name. Plus, if you do get it first turn and you have Clockwork Knight, free into good cards. Best starter in the deck is still 3 copies of Cyber Dragon Core. Normal summon adds any cyber spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Treat it as Cyber Dragon on the field and graveyard, and you can banish it from your graveyard to summon a Cyber Dragon monster from the deck. Pretty good, actually. And again, it is your best normal summon. And thankfully, unfortunately, it only gets effect on normal summon. And thankfully, because its effect counts as Cyber Dragon on the field and graveyard, we still do run the old machine dupe combos. 1 copy of Cyber Dragon Notcher. You can ditch another card in your hands, but summon this card, and then it revives a light machine monster. Or targets a machine monster with 2100 attack or defense. Revives it, and you are locked into machines only. And of course, it's also read as Cyber Dragon. Pretty good, and for a few of the other cards we played, this is actually very well used. 1 copy of Cyber Dragon Hurts. If it's sent to graveyard, it will add a Cyber Dragon from either graveyard or deck to the hand. So in graveyard, this is actually basically a recursion, and in deck, it's a search. And it's rated as Cyber Dragon field and graveyard. And there's no more specimen, it can become level 5. But you can only use each effect once, so only that turn as well. And then our final new Cyber Dragon is 1 copy of Cyber Jormungandr. So Cyber Jormungandr is our new level 5. If everyone controls a monster, you can special summon this card from the hand and equip a Cyber Dragon to it. And then you can bounce a Cyber Dragon to your hand to add a poly. You only use each effect once per turn. So I'm pretty sure, because even though a lot of the cards say they are Cyber Dragon on the field, I believe it's only a monster effect, so if you equip the Cyber Dragon, you can't... So if you equip, say, this, I believe this is still counted as a Cyber Dragon, not Hurts, not Cyber Dragon, because that's a monster effect, not a spell and trap effect. So you wouldn't get the effect to bounce this back, but it's pretty good anyway. And again, it's level 5, so it makes Infinity a lot easier. And then the next parts are 2 copies of Cyber Dark Claw. If you get Veilored or Ash on core, This will let you add any Cyber Dark spell to your hand, and we're only playing one. We're only playing one Cyber Dark spell. You could play Cybernetic Horizon if you want, but that will lock your machines a lot quicker. So, yeah. And again, if this is equipped, you can, I believe, to send a card from the grave extra deck to the graveyard. Yeah. 2 copies of Cyber Dark Chimera. If this, you can discard a spell or trap, add a power bond, and then if you were to fuse for the rest of the turn, you may use Cyber Dark. If you're fusing using Dragon or Machine Cyber monsters for this turn, you can only fusion summon. You can fusion them using graveyard. So this means your power bond and polymerization are basically overload fusions at this point. And then if it's sent to graveyard, you can mill a Cyber Dark, which is very useful for our 1 copy of Cyber Dark Worm. So what this card does, as long as you have a machine monster in your field or graveyard, you can mill a Cyber Dragon to the graveyard, or mill a light machine, I believe. You don't Cyber Dragon monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, but summon this card, and then it adds back a Cyber card. You only use the effect to revive itself once per duel, and then while it's on the field, it is created a Cyber Dragon. So you can use it to like bring out a lot of your Cyber Dragon fusions and revive itself. That's how it works out. Pretty good for Bugattis. 1 copy of Therion King Regulus, because you're playing Clockwork Knight, and going through the combo of Clockwork Knight, this will get us into Regulus. And even if you don't get it through the combo, you draw it. He's a great card to play anyway, just being able to be a negate. 1 copy of Jisakiru. I still play the 1 copy. It's very interesting to just having access to a spot removal card that doesn't target, destroy, bounce, whatever. Just being able to tribute. We're good to go. And contact use immediately. For hand traps, we're playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Everyone knows what Ash does. It's pretty much you have to play it. It does everything. And then 3 copies of Molcharmy Fuelos. Good card. Like, it's, I wouldn't say this is meta defining or meta warping, but it's a really good card and you have to play it. If you activate it for the rest of the turn. If your opponent puts them to the hand deck or extra deck, you draw a card, and then if your cards are 6 plus more than what your opponent has, you will shuffle back cards. They have to be 6 plus. So if you drew like 2 cards and your opponent has like 4 cards on field, and you have 8, you don't shuffle back. That's it for the monsters. Pretty hefty. Let's go ahead and go to the spell cards. Spell cards. Our first one of our starters is 3 copies of Cyber Emergency. It adds any light machine that can't be normal summoned or 1 Cyber Dragon monster. And then, if this would be negated while in your possession, you can discard a card, add it back to your hand, and you can only activate 1 emergency per turn. But if it gets negated its activation, you get to activate another one anyway. So it's pretty good. It's pretty much our Rhoda, or 1 of 2 Rhodas, or 1 of 3 actually. Next are 3 copies of Cyber Dark Realm. So on activation, you search for a Cyber Dark monster, and then later during your main phase, you can activate immediately as the effect resolves. So you activate another effect during the main phase. You normal summon an additional Cyber Dark monster. So the play to really thin the deck out is you go activate Claw, add this, activate this to add Chimera, and then normal summon Chimera, because then you'll be able to basically get 3 cards out of deck by using this effect. 1 copy of Repair Plant, being able to, again, search any of our Cyber Dragon cards, or even recycle. Like, put a fusion back, or put anything like that back. It's pretty good. And again, being able to get our Kaiju. 1 copy of Cyber Rift System. It's better summons 1 Cyber Dragon from your deck, from your hand or graveyard. And it can't be for a battle of card effects. It can't be for a battle of card effects, yeah. So, or just a card effect. So it's pretty good. It is an extender. That's really all it's used for. You could cut it, and I consider mine doing it. 1 copy of Machine Duplication, just because we have access to it. Play it. If they go normal summon core, they ash it, you can play this, get out 2 Cyber Dragons, go Infinity, and if you have any other extenders for that turn, you're good to go. one copy of Power Bond, and then one copy of Poly. These are fusion spells. Everyone knows what Poly does. Fusions from hand or field to go into a monster. Power Bond is you fusion summon a machine monster. It gains double the attack of what it had, and at the end of the turn, you take damage equal to the attack you gained. So you'll either gain like 21, you'll lose 2,100 life points, 4,000, a lot of damage, but you're going for game when you use Power Bond. Or setup, or if you go into one of our fusion monsters, you don't take any damage. Two copies of Clockwork Knight turns all monsters on the field into Earth Machines. All my Earth Machine monsters will gain 500 attack, all yours lose, so it's basically 1,000 difference. And if this is in the graveyard, you can banish it, discard a card, add a Earth Machine monster. So you get Regulus. It is searchable thanks to the link 1 we have. So honestly, like if you know the combos, how this deck works, a combo, it's pretty good. If you want to see a combo video, like I said, leave it down below. I will try to make one. A lot of the combos are very, I don't want to say linear, but they're very easy to know. Two copies of Forbidden Droplet. You can build this up, removing Rift Systems to play 3 copies. I would not blame you if you did. This is really good in the matchups where you kind of need to out stuff that lets you dodge if you have access to dodging cards. Like if you have core and they want to avail your core, you can use this to send to the graveyard. You can use this to send Hurts, gain Hurts effect. You know, there's a lot of cards you can do with this. And you can send Clockwork Knight off of this so that we can start the search later. Pretty good. 2 copies of Lightning Storm, and then 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. These are our board breaker cards. This will pop monsters, this pops back row. You want either one to go off, honestly, and as long as you have them, you should do fine. I don't need to explain too much about that, actually. Crossout, Called By, and Triple Attack's Talents. These are one-ofs. I had a game against Blue Eyes before the ones you'll see eventually, that I drew both of these of Called By and Tactics, and hit his Droll and Lockbird, and then hit the Bysteel out of his hand, which allowed us to go off for combo. So pretty good. And Crossout, being able to get rid of Imperm, Inciting, getting rid of Nib, stuff like that, is pretty good, honestly. That's it for the spells. And for the trap cards, we are playing 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. It's basically a Cyber Dragon trap card because Cyber Affinity is right there. It's a Veiler if you have no cards on the field, and then if you activate it while it's set, you get to lock out a call. This is spell the traps. And then 1 copy of Angel Statue Azaroon. If you could already guess why we're playing this card, being able to activate this, make it a monster, and then it's a Horn of Heaven, if you know what that means, or a Solemn Strike. It does not stop the effective special summon, but it can stop a special summon of monster. So basically, he gets a pop something. And then if you destroy the card, and then this card, if it's destroyed by effect while it's a monster zone, it will pop something. So that is currently the main deck for Cyber Dragons. It's pretty standard. Oh, I don't say it was pretty standard. Like, there's a lot of differences you can play to it, and that's what I kind of check it out. So, like I said, so Cyber Dragons is pretty good. We're still an ODK strategy no matter what, but we can now go first, which is pretty fun. Now to the extra deck. For side deck, basically I think my Sky Striker side deck, and there you go. So our first link is, of course, 1 copy of Clockwork Knight. You can bump it up to 2 if you feel you need it. On summon, sends a face-up continuous spell to the trap. Spell the card to the graveyard to add Clockwork Knight. Send Cyberdark Realm. There you go. And then you can send a monster from your field to the graveyard if you revive another monster. Pretty good. It's how you're going to get a lot of access to cards. So you'll go core with Chimera, send core to the grave, or link in the core, and then send Chimera to get the effect to revive. And then you have Chimera's effect to send. So pretty good. 1 copy of Silhouette Rabbit. This is how we get Azaroon. It requires 2 monsters to make it to effect, and we have that all the time. As long as we don't use our Nature line before this, where Nature will lock us in machines, we can go into this, set up cards, and then if you activate a spell or trap card that becomes a monster, you pop a back row. So with this, the Adrune and how your field can be made, you pretty much constantly have access to interruptions during your opponent's turn, which is pretty good. One copy of Cyber Dragon Seeger. Give 2100 attack to any Cyber Dragon monster you control, but this card does not do damage if you use that effect. So you can attack with it, not use its effect, and then have another monster attack for 21 and its effect and gain more, which is pretty good. And that's really about it. Like, it's still considered a good card, and I would not really, what do you call it, get rid of it, because it's still considered Cyber Dragon, and it's a Machine Link monster that we go into. And then one copy of SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight. It's really good. Might as well. I will say this right now. The extra deck and main deck will change a lot once we get Justice Hunters, because the build I want to try in that deck will be K9 Cyber Dragon, which is doing really well in OTG. So I want to try that, as well as, playing a lot of other decks for that set. So, yeah. Next up, we have for the Exceeds, you have 2 copies of Cyber Dragon Nova. If you want to cut down this to play a lot more different lineup, you can cut down 1 to 1. So Nova can revive a Cyber Dragon from your graveyard, or it can banish a Cyber Dragon from the field to gain 2100 attack. And then if this leaves the field, if it's set to the graveyard, you can put summon a machine monster for each monster, ignoring its summoning conditions. So you don't know summoning conditions. So this can get you out Cyber Twin, this gets you out Cyber End, all for like free doing this effect, which is pretty good. Two copies of Cyber Dragon Infinity. Absorb a monster in attack mode, gain 2 attack plus each material. And then you can detach a material and negate one when your opponent activates a card or effect. Infinity is really good, and it's probably been one of the reasons why this deck has been relevant, just being able to make this. But this card has also been better than the actual deck itself, and I'll be sad to say that, but it's true. And then one copy was Zeus. So Zeus is a weird case. I love Zeus because it's one of my favorite monsters. But meta defining wise, I could actually say you might actually be better off playing Typhon instead of Zeus. Let me know what you guys think, because Typhon I feel is much better in this scenario. But I like Zeus anyway, so you can either play one of them. Or again, you can cut down Nova and Infinity to 1 each, and then you can play you can play an SP and a Typhon anyway, if you really want to play like that kind of build, which is fine. And then for the fusions. It's Clockwork Knight. We are playing 1 copy of Fortress Dragon. Contact use the entire board. Your opponent has an annoying link. Go into this. Mega Fleet. It starts monster in the extra monster zone. I wish its attack gain was based on the link rating you fused and summoned with, but it is not. It's only recover material, so it's 2400 in most cases. 1 copy of Chimeric Rampage Dragon. This card is like your best fusion, unironically. So on summon, it's 2+ Cyber Dragon monsters. You can pop any number of back row up to the number of materials you use. So if you use 3, you pop 3 back row. Then you can mill 2, I believe it is light machines. You have 2 light machine monsters from your deck to the graveyard, and he gains additional attack for each one. So if you mill 2, you're getting 3 attacks total. Off Power Bond, there's an OTK. But what's really good, you can go into this first turn, use its effect to dump 2 cards, and you basically extend your deck that way. What I like to do, and I'll explain in the combo video later. Again, if you want the combo, I know I'm teasing about the combo video. If you guys want it, let me know. So that is and then 1 copy of Harasvog the Mechanical Dawn. 2 light machine monsters. I call it the honorary Cyber Dragon fusion monster because it looks like a Cyber Dragon fusion monster. You cannot tell me it doesn't. 2 light machine monsters. During the next standby phase, you add back a fusion spell from your graveyard. So if you get back Poly, it's pretty good, or Power Bond. And then you can either banish 2 from your graveyard or 1 light machine fusion monster you control. So 2 light machines from the grave, or 1 you control, so him. And then you negate a spell or trap. So you have another interruption. 1 copy of Cyber Twin Dragon, because you can make this off of just 2 Cyber Dragons, or make this off of 2, or get it off of Nova, so it's pretty good, honestly, since so many cards added Cyber Dragon. Getting this for 5,600 each off of Power Bond. Good job. And our final fusion, because I have to, I'm playing one copy of Cyber End. Now, when I say I have to, it's because it feels right to me to play one copy of Cyber End Dragon. You almost never go into it because it really doesn't do much for the deck. But being able to go, all right, if I power bomb this or get off free off of Nova, being able to go, and you'll see during the gameplay, I was considering going into this off of Nova's effect, which I'll go over. But then I thought about it because I was still deciding what I want to do. Anyway, so it is 4,000 and does piercing damage, which is all right. But being able to go, say, power bond into this and swing for 8k, pretty good because you end games, and that is pretty funny. Ending games with power bond with Cyber Dragon, kind of going like GX here. And honestly, that's that's the vibe. Like that's the vibe that this deck has. Like the deck has a lot of like OTK vibes, which is what I've always enjoyed about this deck. Even though it's like I haven't played it in a while. Oh yeah, our token and our field center, which is like Gundam 1 and Arias. Like, yeah, I don't lie about those ones. So that is the deck profile, guys. An updated Cyber Dragon deck profile. If you guys want to see more, like either a combo video or any things that I can recommend about Cyber Dragons, let me know. I've played this deck for a long time. Been off and on it because right now I've been doing Striker, but glad to return to Cyber Dragon. Gonna really enjoy playing K9 Cyber Dragon, and honestly, keep it going. I play a lot of machine decks on the channel. If you've seen it, you know I do. And so, I've been Michael, the Golden State Kings. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye now.